Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Christie's Place virtual gala celebration. I'm Kathleen Grove. I serve as board president at Christie's Place. And tonight I'm going to be your host and your MC, along with our executive director. Thank you so much for joining us as we reflect on the past 25 years and the many ways in which Christie's Place has offered life-saving resources to women and families impacted by HIV here in our community. This event is being broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube. If you have comments or questions, please add them. You can do that throughout the event. I'm already reading some of them. It's so great to see all of you here. Very exciting. And here to join me for tonight's virtual event is Rhea Van Brocklin. Hi, Rhea.
Everybody. Hi, Kathy. It's so exciting, seeing all the comments of people logging in.
It's exciting. Rhea, I am so enjoying these goodies that we were able to get.
Great?
Oh my gosh.
Check out this fun little wine glass we made. They did such a good job. It's got the Christie's Place 25 years. I've got my little charcuterie bag.
I know. I'm enjoying the red. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the beautiful wine bottle. Yeah.
Rhea, what I'm really enjoying though is my t-shirt. I'm hoping everyone can see it okay. These are fabulous. If somebody would like a t-shirt, can you tell us how they could go ahead and get one?
Absolutely. So all of the people who donate at tonight's event, $100 or more can get a free t-shirt, and I'm happy to mail these out to you. You can make a donation. It's so easy on your phone just by texting LOVE25, capital LOVE 25 to 44321, and that donation will go straight to Christie's Place.
Wonderful. Can you also tell us a little bit about how Christie's Place got started?
Absolutely. Christie's Place was started in 1996, and it was started to provide support for women, children, and families impacted by HIV/AIDS to take charge of their health and wellness. It was really the vision of Christy Milton Torres. She was a woman living with HIV/AIDS to provide a safe haven where women and families living with HIV could find support and community. Christy was such a fierce advocate and one of the first women living with HIV in San Diego to come out about her status. And the agency was actually started by her adopted parents, Doug and Irene Milton, to honor her work and her memory. So you're joining us tonight to celebrate the resilience of this agency and our clients and the strength of the mission forged by Christy and the Miltons. And it's created such a positive impact on San Diego and women living with HIV, not just in San Diego, but across the world.
Yes, Christy was really amazing, and we owe such a debt to her and the vision of Doug and Irene. We also want to thank our many sponsors tonight who have done such a great job. We're so appreciative of your support for this event. And also, I think we're ready to maybe introduce Jay and Alfonso, or can we bring them on stage?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Alfonso!
Hi, Alfonso.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Great.
Hi.
Oh,
Can
I
you
see
tell
your
us?
setup in the house. It looks so
Yeah.
nice.
Can you tell us both a little bit about how long you've worked at Christie's Place and kind of what you're hoping to get out of tonight's event?
Ok, este año yo cumplo 14 años en Christie's Place, pero empecé como voluntario por un año y ahora es increíble porque son 15 años trabajando en una increíble familia.
So Alfonso has been with us for 14 years.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's
So
amazing.
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. And Jay, how about you? Is her mic working?
It's all right, Jay. We'll come back to you here in a sec.
We'll come back to you.
Do you want to mention about translation tonight?
Alfonso, tell us a little bit about translation tonight and also your art group.
El art group, hicimos dos piezas del grupo de arte, es para celebrar el aniversario de 25 años de Christie's Place. Son dos piezas que representan Christie's Place y la casa que tiene arriba de la mujer es el hogar de nuestros clientes. Y son hechos de papel maché y son cosas que hacemos aquí en nuestro grupo de arte.
And you have one of your pieces in the auction tonight, and it was beautiful. Thank you for everything that your art group does.
Gracias, Katy.
Jay, are we able to hear from you?
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been working at Christie's Place and what you hope for tonight's event?
Oh, Jay, I think you're muted.
All right. Well, maybe while we're waiting for Jay to get the technical
There you go. We hear you. We hear you.
Can you hear us? Okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Go for it.
I've been at Christie's Place 10 and a half years. And what I hope to get from tonight, it is so important that contributions are made to our agency because that is the lifeline of us being able to provide vital services to women throughout the community.
Yes. Thanks for reminding us that. That helps us keep the doors open. Thank you, Jay. We're going to be talking with you later on tonight. Thank you both, Jay and Alfonso. Rhea, I've got a question for you. Can you help share with us a little bit about how this virtual event will directly help Christie's Place?
Absolutely. So this virtual event is going to help basically keep our lights open. It goes into our general operating funds and it keeps the lights on, helps us pay the mortgage and the lease for our comprehensive coordinated HIV services center for women, children, and families living with HIV. And it also is jumpstarting a brand new project, which I'm really excited to talk about later in this evening.
Good. We're looking forward to that. I believe we have our first video for the night.
We sure do. So to kick off tonight's evening of storytelling, I'd like to introduce a few of our clients who recorded their testimonials to share with us. So I hope you enjoy.
My name is Reg Carroll.
Hi, my name is Marissa.
My name is Jim Dunn.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Diaz, and I've been positive since 2005.
My children had left me here because of my addiction. After they left, I was going to get clean. I learned about Christie's Place from being in drug rehab, and they sent me out to go try to find some resources.
I remember it was a Tuesday, and immediately as I walked into the doors, I just felt that cozy home vibe. I felt that I was able to come and just sit here and just like if I was at home.
It was in pretty bad shape when I said they came in because I admit they didn't like me. They didn't like me even talking about it at the groups here, but I was really pretty suicidal when I said they came here. And it was only because I actually had been positive then for over 20 years. And when they sat there and told me, like a lot of people I found out, is that They told me the same thing, and if I said six story, they sat there and told me good and bad news. They said the good news is you're healthy, the bad news you'll be dead within 3 years.
When I found out I was HIV positive back in '93, they were there for me. Going back 25 years ago was a very lonely place. And the only reason I made it to today is because my doctor told me about a support group at the Women and Children's Center. And it was young women who were positive, old women, just women in general, mothers or not mothers. So 25 years ago, I walked up a few stairs that took forever, and I went into a support group, and I met Christie Milton Torres.
Matter of fact, as soon as we came here, the great thing about Christie's Place was that they gave us knowledge and they gave us warmth and acceptance, and we discovered that we weren't the only ones.
Tell you what, they save your lives. These rooms save your life. I don't care who you are and how tough you are, because it will. It takes the wind out of you. You lose yourself, you know. You find out that, yeah, you're scared.
Christie holds a very special place in my heart because it's the first organization ran for HIV and AIDS patients and families. So I think that was so important. Even today, living with the stigma, it was a vision of Christie for women to come together and just have a safe place, that they wouldn't be criticized, that nobody would be judging them. So I just feel the safe space for me is so important.
Be ready for anything, things in life, because things don't always go peachy keen. There's trials and tribulations, but that only makes us stronger. But HIV has taught us that from the beginning, because there was no hope. But today there's hope. There's hope today. There really is hope today. Back then, I was scraping my hope off the floor. That's how I was finding my hope. I was scraping it off the floor. But today, there's hope.
Wow. Our clients' stories are so powerful, and listening to them always reminds me of why I joined the board. I had the pleasure to meet Christie in 1991 when I was working with another group of women on putting together a women's conference, and I met Christie, and over the years I got to know Doug and Irene a little bit. I started a course at UCSD that I was teaching and would invite them to come and talk, and I did some volunteering here and there with Christie's Place. I helped with the women's retreat. But in 2014, I finally joined the board. And when I joined the board, I was really amazed actually at the depth of programming, at all the work that they do. And I've been so honored to serve as board president and hopefully contribute a little bit to thinking about strategic planning and outreach and some other things that they're doing.
Well, I can definitely say, Kathy, that I'm so glad you're on the board, and our board is pretty fantastic. So here's to you, right?
Yeah.
What else are you enjoying in these awesome little treats we have next to us?
Well, I have a terrible sweet tooth, so I'm really enjoying the little sweet goodies. So those are really lovely. Yeah.
I just saw Planned Parenthood just joined us. They're one of our amazing diamond sponsors.
Oh, good.
So welcome, Planned Parenthood. So welcome. I want to get us moving to the next video. It's a more in-depth story about one of our amazing clients. Her name's Yvette. So I hope you enjoy her story.
So my name is Yvette Rochelle Pennerman. I was born in Washington, D.C., but I've lived in California my entire life, pretty much. I was diagnosed on September 5th, 2003. And yeah, pretty much. I wasn't diagnosed here. I was diagnosed in Texas. So I did move away. I was married and moved away, and then ended up getting divorced and moving to Texas because I wanted to raise my kids in just a really nice place. We didn't lock the doors, and it's just really great. And so once I was diagnosed, though, where I was in Texas, there was no medication. There was no, they could get medication, I guess, but there were really no doctors. HIV specialist for sure. And I was really sick when I was diagnosed. So a few days later, a friend of mine flew me to California, and I knew it would be the best place. And my mom lived here, so I came back to live with her. When I walked through the door, for someone to be right there and just, hi, you're Yvette, and I'm like, wow, it was so weird to me. And I didn't know what a support group was. So I was coming to this support group, whatever that means. And when I walked in, I know I was overwhelmed because, like I said, I listened, but I think I cried the whole entire time. And but I came back the next week and continued to come back for years. And I think that was great. I mean, I just think feeling like someone cares about you, I didn't think anybody cared. I know I met my best friend, who is also a client at Christie's Place. She has since passed away, but I think Christie's Place, first of all, encouraged people to, do what's best for them, really. But for me, just hearing Christie's story, first of all, and thinking, and at the time, there weren't a lot of women out there. There still weren't a lot of women out there in 2003. And I felt like, as scared as I was to go public or have anyone find out I was HIV positive, I feel like it was more important to educate people so they didn't feel like me. Because I didn't feel like I could touch anyone, or I didn't feel like anybody was supposed to touch me. And so once I started studying, I mean, they taught me to study. That first support group, they asked me all these questions and I couldn't answer them. They asked me about my labs, and they said if I didn't understand them, bring them in the next week, and they would explain everything to me. So I got so much education here. I felt like everybody needs this, and every woman should know that you can live. And that's something I didn't know, And so once I learned that, I felt like I needed to get out there and educate other people. And as far as the connections, I met my best friend through the first training I did. A lot of times they match you up. They put us in a hotel together, and they try to match you up with, people that are like you, maybe your age, same age and background. And so I was kind of scared. I didn't know this person I was going to share a room with. And she ended up becoming my best friend. And we stayed best friends forever. and she also was an advocate. And I think also the first conference I went to, Christie's Place, encouraged us to go to conferences and see other women like us. And so I believe it was a women's conference. And I saw another person who had been a client at Christie's Place. She was a speaker there. And I was thinking, wow, I want to be like her. And I'm thinking this lady is like this famous lady. I want to be like her. And she had since moved away, but she had been a client at Christie's Place. And someone knew her. And they said, oh, we can call her. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk to this famous woman. And so I talked to her and I was like, wow, I listened to your presentation, and we're friends now too. We became really good friends. She moved back to San Diego, and so seeing women doing things just really inspired me, and I became friends with a lot of the women. Don't give up on yourself, because there's no possible way I would have thought that I would have been where I am today, have done the things I've done. And it all was because of Christie's Place. I've not been to any other organization but Christie's Place. I've also worked in the field, eventually started getting jobs in the field. I've done public speaking. And so there's endless possibilities to what you can do even after having the diagnosis. I think I've definitely done more in my life since the diagnosis. I went back to school. Like I said, I did a lot of public speaking nationally and even internationally. I was able to travel to Africa to teach. I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show, so that was kind of big. And that all came about through Christie's Place as well. So I think just set your bar high. I mean, you can live a life that's better than you ever were even living, You just need to take care of yourself. And I think Christie's Place, especially for women. And it's not just women. I remember thinking, it's not just women. We say women, children, and families, that's the focus, but a family is not just a woman. So there are men that are clients at Christie's Place that, have families, maybe raising their kids or grandkids. And I would just say endless possibilities to your life.
Oh, that was so great. Wonderful. Yvette is just such a strong advocate. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm so happy to see Jay again on the screen.
Hi,
And,
Jay.
Rhea and Jay, I know you both know that just for individuals, it's been a tough year. And I think it's been tough for individuals. It's been real tough for nonprofits. And I'm wondering if you can comment a little bit on what this has meant for Christie's Place and how you've adjusted in this time.
Yeah, COVID support during COVID's been really difficult, especially for our clients. But I will say, if there's a will, there's a way, and we definitely found a way. So I want to give Jay the floor and let her talk about some of the ways that we've adapted our services to make sure that our clients still get what they need.
You're on mute.
Your mic's on mute.
I like that Jessica's with her. Jessica's another one of our fabulous people.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're grabbing another computer. 1 second. Sorry for
that. Yeah, this is always the downside of the online environment, isn't it? It's the quirks of technology.
Yeah. Okay, try it again, guys. Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Can you say something? No, we can't hear you. Oh no.
Should we go ahead and maybe play the video and then come back to Jessica?
Yeah, let's do that.
Jay?
Let's do that. Okay. You guys
all right.
on the mic. We're gonna play Jay's video because Jay recorded a little message for us to tell everybody about her story. So let's enjoy that, and then you guys figure out the mic. We'll bring you back on. Okay.
Thanks, ladies.
When I talk about Christie's Place, I always talk about us as a family, because that's what it feels like to me. And, our clients call Christie's Place a second home. And that's exactly what it feels like. The staff is loving and caring, and the clients know that. And we just want the best for our clients, women's lives, getting out of domestic violence relationships, getting your immigration status, being able to work legally, and just a wide array of things. Christie's Place is the most amazing place I've ever experienced. I actually am celebrating my 25 years of diagnosis. And, when I got diagnosed, I lived in an area where there were just gay white men. And so even though they embraced me and took care of me and loved me when I couldn't love myself, I wish I would have had a Christie's Place or something similar where women who understand women living with HIV, I could have started the first half of my journey living with this virus. 25 years ago, the doctors told me, that was March 1996, they told me I wouldn't make it to January 97. And look at me, helping other women that have gone through experiences as I have. I look around, and when I see Christie's picture, or when I see the video she made for Christopher, it reminds me on a daily basis why we're here. She had a vision of a safe haven for women and families living with HIV. And 25 years later, we are still harvesting that vision. And I am so grateful to her, because I wouldn't be here. if it wasn't for Christie and Irene and Doug, well, I can't even imagine being anywhere else, and this will probably be my last job, but that'll be okay. But I love this place. I love the clients. Our clients are amazing. They just need a little help. Some need a little push or a little assistance, and some need a lot. It's a lot of mistrust in the medical systems, and it's a lot of fear, and the initial diagnosis is, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So it's my job and the rest of our jobs to help a lady who is newly diagnosed or recently getting back into care, to help empower her so she can stand on her own, be a role model, so women can see that, you don't have to stay in your situation. Things change, and we are here to help in every step. Whether you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, we're going to walk them with you. And I'm really grateful that they created the peer navigation program, so we're able to do that. I think it is so vitally important to have relationships lifelong, because I'll never forget the women I've worked with, whether they come and then they're gone and don't see them for years, and then they come back and I see their name come across my desk, and I'm excited, because they're still around, and they're still, it's okay if they're still asking for help. It's okay if they're back in the situation they was in the beginning. It's okay, because we all know that life is full of ups and downs, and we know that, one woman helping another is the way the world should go. We need each other. I need these women. I need this community, because as a woman living with HIV, I can't do this journey alone. Even though I'm staff, the clients have uplifted me in ways I can't imagine. We've had losses. I've lost clients that which is very hard. I've lost friends, not necessarily to HIV, but some were, a direct result of AIDS, complications from AIDS. And that's, I think, is the hardest part about our job, because everybody don't make it, but the numbers, the ones that do, is greater than the ones that don't. So that's the reward, celebrating life, even the setbacks. That's okay, baby. We gonna try it this way this time, and figure out what went wrong and figure out how it can be done better. That's all we do, and it's a blessing for me to walk this journey. My life is forever changed because of Christie's Place. My life is forever changed because of Christie. The women.
Oh, a few technical, a little noise there. Jay, thank you for your leadership and your compassion and sharing your journey with us. And I know on your screen. And now we hope that we'll be able to actually talk to Jay and to Jessica.
Okay. Am I on? Okay.
You are.
All right. So I believe I was going to talk about how we have adjusted to
Yes, ma'am.
COVID. yeah, we were all in for the shock of our lives and scrambling about what do we do? What do we do? You know, and all we could think about was the clients. And so thank goodness for Zoom, honey, you know. Thank goodness. So we were able to pull together some support groups and you know, and teach the women how to use Zoom. And if they had any technical difficulties, we were able to do that. And also, what we're in the process of doing right now, actually this month, is the Lotus training. So the Lotus training is usually a 4-day, very intense week. So this year we're doing it for 5 weeks. And so it's an advocacy training to empower women to advocate for other women. I know I took it back in 2010 and it changed my world. And so we have been able to stay connected. Our therapy, you know, we can't do face to face, but we were able to implement teletherapy and telehealth and you know, and it's worked out wonderfully. You know, the women are getting the services they need. And we also were able to figure out how to get our hygiene products and our food and vegetables out to our clients without the interaction, without the face to face. So, you know, when it's that time, you know, we'll call and then we'll set the stuff outside and look out the window and make sure they got it. But yeah, so we just had to make that adjustment, you know, and I think that's the amazing thing about staff, because you know the wheels were turning. You know, now we had to think differently, you know, and so you can't get too comfortable, you know.
Yes.
So it took us
Jay,
out of
thank
our
you.
comfort, but it was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm hoping we can hear a little bit from Jessica, who is maybe able to speak a little bit about our family and children's services.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jessica Sanchez. I have been a part of Christie's for almost 3 years, and I'm super honored to work for our kids and the mamas here at Christie's Place. So beyond coordinating childcare, because it's perfectly in line with the mission of Christie's Place, is all the supportive things specifically to the women and the families. So some childcare things, and then also the family event planning, which takes the ladies out of isolation. We can grow the community this way. And one of my favorite ever family activities is the holiday party. I've done 3 so far. And if any children are watching, moms, like, close their ears, please. My grandpa Santa Claus. So for the last
I love your grandpa, Jessica. He's the cutest Santa.
He's been Santa, and I think even that is just so unique to Christie's Place, is having my family and friends volunteering, helping to prepare, all the staff really coming together to put out the best events for the clients so they can have a special holiday, you know, warm meal. This year, even with the chaos of COVID, I think we did an amazing job putting together a drive-through Christmas experience. For the first time I've hosted the event, the kids got 3 Christmas presents. Even the parents got a little mug and an ornament and a $20, $25 grocery gift card. So we're really just, you know, doing the most to give the families the most. And I'm honored to be here on our 25th anniversary, baby.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Jay. And I wanted to go back to Rhea for a moment. Rhea, you've been with us now 2 years almost as our executive director. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, briefly, how has that been and how has that changed you?
Sure. Well, I definitely didn't think that we would have a pandemic my first year on the job, but you know, HIV's always had a really central place in my heart. I had a friend who passed away from AIDS in the early 90s, and I saw just how isolated and hurt he was before he passed, just because of the stigma and the ignorance that surrounded the disease, especially early in the epidemic. So, You know, I've been working in the field since 1998, unofficially, and officially since 2001. And when I moved to San Diego, I worked for a community health center. But when the job for Christie's Place came up, it really did feel like coming home. Some of the people who've taught me the most about love and strength and resilience and really life have been past clients and friends living with HIV. So, you know, much like Christy Milton Torres, these are the folks that have shown me what resilience really looks like. So I'm just incredibly appreciative and love my job. It's not really a job if you love it, right? And I've been committed to doing this for a long time and just really love the agency and what we stand for.
Well, we're so grateful for your presence and your leadership. You've done such an amazing job. I wanted to just remind everyone that we are having simultaneous Spanish translation during our event tonight. And also up next, we're going to hear a bit about Christy herself. And you might want to grab a tissue.
Yes.
The first time I met Christy, I was volunteering at the Women, Children, Family Center. And the program director, Irene Milton, was telling me about her daughter that she had adopted through a special buddy program. And that she was going to be coming in. So occasionally Christy would come into the center just to, you know, relax, get to talk with people. But, you know, when I met Christy, she was sick, you know. You would have never known it. That lady never complained. I got to meet Christy, go to lunch with her, talk with her. I wanted to grow up to be like her. A young mother who had a young boy, had to sit there and make arrangements so her son would have a family. So she had to adopt out her son and explain to him why. It was hard for her and her son because they had just lost the father to AIDS. But I will say, Christy never complained. As a matter of fact, she told me to stop complaining. And she told me to stop the damn smoking, eat your spinach, eat healthy. And you know, 28 years ago, there wasn't any medications. So all we had was DDI and DDC, and they were still in trials. And that's why Christy didn't make it. If she could have held on one more year, you know. And now that all this time has passed, you know, I always thought, when am I going to die? When am I going to die? When am I going to die? And I realize now, Christy wanted this place for us because she knew she wasn't going to have it for herself. And 28 years ago, there was no place for women and children and family members. And the tears I cry is just out of gratitude that this one young woman who had AIDS changed what AIDS was going to mean for women, children, and families. She changed it because of her courage. She adopted out her child. She took her meds. She ate good. She did what she had to do. And so she was a perfect example of what to do in a crisis like AIDS. Because back then it was a pandemic or whatever they call it, just like COVID is today, you know. But Christy didn't only give myself hope, but she gave a lot of women hope just people saw her courage and her strength and the fact that she wanted this place for us. So that's what I remember about Christie. And that was the first funeral I went to. Did you get to meet Christie? No, Mama, huh?
No, I didn't. But I did in a way. I did meet Christie in a way through you.
Yeah, you did.
Through you. Because I remember the story you told me about her. She was a warrior, absolute warrior.
I used to be a peer advocate at the center, and a lady by the name of Terry Albritton told me, you know, there's a lady in crisis on the phone. I want you to take the phone call. And I said, I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I just started volunteering. She goes, Wandy, take the phone call. That's what she called me, Wandy. Take the phone call. And that phone call was Tammy. So Christie's Place doesn't only change our lives today, but it changes our lives in the future. This is 28 years ago. And Tammy and I are best friends. We go down together, we get up together. We walk together, we run together. So Christie's doesn't just change our lives today, they change the future for women, children, and family members infected and affected with HIV. Yep.
Absolutely.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Tammy and Wanda, I'm so grateful for you, and what a beautiful tribute to Christie. Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything else, but I just find that these videos tonight, the stories women have told me, are just so inspirational and such a great example of courageous living.
Yeah, I completely agree, Kathy. You know, I had mentioned that we're going to be using some of the funds raised tonight to do a special project. And it's exactly like this. You know, there is so much strength that happens when people tell their story, and the stories of how we met Christie, how we've grown as people, how our clients persevered in living the hope that she wanted for them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Those stories are really important, and they help to break down walls in the community and misconceptions that people have about women living with HIV. There's so much strength in our clients, and I really want us to uplift those voices and highlight them and make change possible for everyone. So we're going to use some of these funds to help spearhead a storytelling project in which we're going to help our clients get them trained on how to tell their stories, and then create a book that we'll be releasing later on this summer to really create some of those shifts in public narratives about HIV and women. So looking forward to that. I mean, just another way that Christie's dreams continue to live within us, you know.
It's a great project, so exciting. At this point, I wanted to bring Liz Johnson onto the stage. Liz,
yeah, we're going to show
a video?
General video. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. On to the next video.
I feel special when I come in here, and I feel cared for, and I feel a real connection to the other women that are here.
Me invitaron a participar en grupos, en tomar terapias.
I come in here, I can smell the food, I can hear a good time. I reminisce with love, and that's what I feel when I come into Christie Place.
We are a nonprofit organization. We're the only organization in San Diego that specifically serves women, children, and families impacted by HIV, and we empower them to take charge of their health and wellness.
Christie Milton Torres was one of the first women that I interviewed, and in our talk, she was married. She and her husband were both positive. They had a son, And so, in addition to the frustration over finding appropriate medical services, she was also frustrated there was no place, there were no support groups for people like her and her family. And so what she really wanted was that kind of a place.
I was aware of my disease, so I was confident in that, but I needed to connect with people. And I found Christie Place gave me that connection.
Principalmente los clientes se sienten cómodos cuando llegan por primera vez a la agencia y no ven algo que es muy clínico o un sign que dice clínica, es como una casa, el cual se sienten muy cómodos al llegar a Christie's Place.
As a peer navigator and as a positive woman, it's about that trust and a relationship with my clients. I have to create that bond, and as soon as they start trusting me, we can do anything, we can change anything.
Women still live in poverty, they still live with stigma, they still live with family rejection, they still live with so many complications in their lives, and Christie's Place is a steward for them. It helps them.
The very definition of this place is family. You know, the staff are a family. We're a small team. We've got less than 20 people that work here. The clients that we serve, we've worked with them from the time that they were pregnant with their first baby to the time that they sent their first child to college.
You find people that are supportive, that are going through the same thing. You're gonna feel welcome. You're gonna feel but more supported and lifted because you don't have to go through this alone.
I learned so much from Christie's Place, and it motivated me to get out and learn more.
People that I know that come here always talk about the compassion that they receive here.
I'm just grateful to be in this place where I can get anything that they need and offer it to them and make their lives more easy.
Every woman that comes to that door, every family that comes to that door, every person living with HIV that needs help, I know can come through that door and will get help.
Oh, I'm just so enjoying these videos tonight. I think I'm reading the chats and everyone else seems to be really enjoying them. And now I get to introduce Liz Johnson. Liz, you were executive director at Christie's Place for a long time. I believe you started that job perhaps when you were 25 years old. And I was wondering if you could share with us a little bit about your favorite memories of Doug and Irene Milton.
Yeah, first, thank you, Kathy and Rhea. You know, serving as the executive director was probably, other than being a mother, one of the greatest honors of my life. And it's such a pleasure to be here and be part of this celebration. So, I mean, I first got involved in Christie's Place back in the spring of '99, and I had just taken over an HIV transportation program. And a woman named Irene called me and said, "Are you the new transportation lady?" You know, in her Irene way. And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, you need to get over here to Christie's Place because I have someone that want to talk to you." So about a week later, I walked through the doors of Christie's Place and I immediately felt this incredible energy. And then walked down the hall into the family room and there was a group of women meeting. And for the next hour, you know, I got schooled on HIV and women and children, the unique issues that they faced and why we had to fix these services. Because of these incredible advocates, incredible and fierce advocates. And in fact, Tammy and Wanda, who were on earlier, were two of the women in that group. So it was great to see them today. And of course, Irene was there and she just had this huge proud mama smile on her face, ear to ear the whole time. And I walked out of that meeting thinking, not only am I going to fix this, but I have to be a part of this special place. And then within a year, Irene invited me to join the board. Her and Doug became lifelong mentors to me, and I guess the rest is history. But, you know, in terms of time with Irene and Doug, you know, I've spent countless hours with them hearing the stories of Christie, Angel, and Christopher, you know, stories of others that unfortunately lost their battle to HIV, but whose memories and whose work really, you know, were woven into the tapestry of Christie's Place. And those lessons learned in that time with Doug and Irene, you know, created sort of this code that I hold dear today in my life, things like principles above personalities. You know, we're here to serve and we are one community. just to name a few. And, many of you know how incredibly generous Irene is and what a spitfire she is. And she used to leave me these notes, like all across my office, on my door, with underlines and exclamation marks, picking out things she didn't like that going on in the house or that I wasn't doing. And boy, did I dread getting those notes. Sorry, this is my daughter, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Victoria had a mommy dearest bag, like, you must buy 2-ply toilet paper, and you have to have tissues throughout the house. But what I learned was that they were really a testament to her unwavering commitment to our clients and our families, making sure that they were always comfortable and that they always felt supported in the home. I am forever indebted to Doug and Irene. And so when I left in 2016, I did leave a piece of my heart there. And, we accomplished more than I ever thought we could, that I dreamed we could. Because I don't think many people have said this, Christie's Place just isn't about the folks that we have the honor of serving. It's about its impact on all of us, on staff, volunteers, donors, and it builds community exponentially. And I think the experience that folks have there, the strength, the courage, the resilience, the hope for a better tomorrow, and the love, they shape and impact our lives in ways that's immeasurable. So I just want to do a quick toast. Here's to 25 years for those of you with wine or any other non-alcoholic beverage of your choice. And here's to another 25 years of honoring Christie and Irene's legacy of lighting the way and brightening the world. So cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you.
Liz, I remember when we met for the first time, I think it was like 2009 in Chicago. That was while I was still the executive director at the AIDS Project of Central Iowa and Des Moines, and Liz was the ED at Christie's Place, and it was for like an executive director summit, I think. But yeah, lots of memories.
So I was so happy. I was so happy that you became the executive director, because clearly you're doing an amazing job, and you have that love and that heart, and the connection to community, which is so important. So thank you, Rhea, and thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Yeah, so I think that the reason why Christie's Place is so beloved is because of this amazing story that came about from how it was formed, right? So there was this incredible letter that was written by Terry Albritton. She was one of the folks that really helped to build Christie's Place, and she worked with Irene to identify resources to get the ground running, and she facilitated one of the first support groups that's still going on. It's the Tuesday night support group with Jim Dunn and Susan Dickerson and Andy Cates. These are folks that have been part of our history since the beginning, since before the beginning. So Terry wrote this letter, and we did something special and created an animation out of this letter. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm really excited for all of you to see it. In the fall of 1990, the specter of HIV/AIDS was horrific. There was a single FDA-approved medication, AZT. As some of you remember, the dosing was complicated and the side effects were terrible. In October 1990, I met an infected heterosexual couple, Christie and Angel Torres. They were in their 20s and had an HIV-negative infant son. Christie had attended gay support groups in San Diego and formed solid friendships with some of the men she met there, but she needed more support on issues affecting her and her family. We decided to initiate a support group to address the needs of heterosexual folks. Our first meeting was held on October 6, 1990. There were fewer than 10 persons at that meeting. Reluctant to talk at first, the participants began to open up as the meeting progressed. The topics of side effect management, disclosure to partners and family, fear of rejection, and of course, death were among the subjects discussed. Somewhere in this time frame, Christie invited me to meet her adopted mother, Irene Milton. She and her husband, Doug, had approached the AIDS Foundation to volunteer as buddies in support of an HIV-infected individual. They assumed they would be assigned to a gay man, but much to their surprise, they were asked to become buddies to an HIV-positive couple with a young, negative son. After Angel passed away in 1994, Doug and Irene officially adopted Christie and helped her find a couple to adopt her son before she died. With more federal money allocated for HIV-impacted families, Irene and I worked hard over the next few years to open a support center for HIV-positive women and their children. The first site was a charming old house in Golden Hill on B Street. The house was situated on a canyon, which posed danger for young children playing outside. Irene was adamant that the center had to be moved quickly or potentially face fines from the city. The second site was a suitable old house on 5th and Thorn in Hillcrest, but the agency we were working with had serious internal management problems. At the Women's Center, we had to beg for toilet paper, diapers, and other basics. Irene and I never knew if our paychecks would clear, so we rushed to the bank to cash them the minute they were delivered. With Irene's initiative and the assistance of our many supporters, we separated and settled into a permanent home at 2440 3rd Avenue. Irene named the new center Christie's Place. When it opened in April 1996, there was no money for rent, salaries, or supplies. Once again, volunteers and support group members came forward to donate supplies and time to assist with many necessary improvements to the building. Fortunately, Christie lived long enough to visit the center named after her and to spend end-of-life quality time with her friends. Most of you know the history and subsequent success of Christie's Place. I salute you all who have been part of this history for your courage and for the hope you impart to others who are desperate for the support only you can give. Christie's Place has seen a lot in the last 25 years, and I am amazed by the resilience of the agency and the clients who get support from it. I hope to see Christie's Place positively impacting lives for another 25 years. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. That was wonderful. What a great idea, Rhea. We have a special treat for you now. Joining us tonight from the East Coast, please join me in giving a big heartfelt welcome to Miss Richfield 1981.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Richfield 1981, and I'm all rainbowed up, and I'm wearing a heart, because this is what I think of when I think of my friends at Christie's Place. Congratulations on 25 years of providing inspiration and vision and hope and empowering thousands of women and their families who are dealing with HIV and AIDS and teaching them to advocate for themselves, giving them the tools to be able to get through tough times. And I think we can all understand tough times a little bit better after this last year with the pandemic and the crazy, oh goodness, the sadness of death and illness, but also the unemployment and the isolation and all of the depression and all the other things that came along with it. And during that whole time, our friends at Christie's Place were focused on love. That's right, love grows there and love grows there, right where you are tonight. That's right. So along with congratulating Christie's Place for 25 years of wonderful work, I also want to challenge us tonight and think about, as long as the need is still there, we want Christie's Place to be there. So how can I use my time and my resources and my talent and my financial abilities to be able to support Christie's Place so it can be even stronger as we go into the future? And as long as there's a woman and a family that needs help and needs help advocating and being able to get through the complicated way that life can be when you have something like HIV and AIDS in your family that challenges you. So I would like us all to think about how we can do that. Yes, with all of what we have, how can we make Christie's Place even stronger? So we'll do that and also give a big congratulations for a job well done.
Thank you so much, Miss Richfield 1981. That was wonderful. Well, now's the time we've all been waiting for. It's time for our Fund a Need. This is time when we can all come together to make sure that there's another 25 years possible for Christie's Place. So we've got a thermometer we're getting up here. And I want to thank again.
Oh my goodness! This
all
looks
of
so
our
amazing.
Oh gosh, thank you. Thank you to our generous supporters already. This is great. So we would like to reach a goal tonight of around $50,000, and I'm hoping that you can help us with this push. So I would like to invite you to do that right now. I'm going to read out some increments, and then Ria's going to help us by telling us a little bit about what that donation would go for. And you can make a donation any amount, anytime, and you can also set it as a monthly donation. So let's start with $5,000, Ria. What can somebody see for $5,000 donation?
A $5,000 donation would be absolutely amazing. This can cover a month of rent and utilities and operating expenses to keep the safe spaces of Christie's Place in the home-like, trauma-informed, coordinated HIV services center for women, children, and families open. I mean, that would be an amazing contribution, and it really is to help us keep our doors open.
And thank you already to Charles and Elizabeth and other people who have already donated. We're seeing your names up on the screen. This is wonderful. How about a $2,500 donation?
You know, Jay talked briefly about our peer navigation and medical case management programs. So that $2,500 donation would really help us to support those two programs that are absolutely essential in linking our women and children to medical care. Without the peer navigation services to help provide that emotional support and the medical case management services to really allow clients contact and connection with the medical clinics around the area, you know, it would be really hard to link to care. So we're hoping that a $2,500 donation comes through today and we can continue to fund those programs.
Yes, that would be really helpful. Those programs are so vital. Well, let's talk about a $1,000 donation.
So a $1,000 donation helps to support one of our online trainings that's going on right now. It's the Lotus Empowerment Training. We have these amazing trainings. I see Martha Gonzalez just donated. Thanks, MG. MG helped to create this online virtual space to do our Lotus trainings. And it's a way that our clients can learn what it takes to be a peer navigator and to continue to provide education and share their stories in the community so that they can link other women living with HIV to care. It's a wonderful training. $1,000. Let's keep that going.
Yeah, thank you to Jill and Rachel also. Well, what about a $500 donation? How could that help out Christie's Place?
I know this thing really it holds dear in your heart, Kathy. A $500 donation would help fund a scholarship for one woman to attend our Dancing with Hope annual women's retreat. This is a way for women living with HIV to go to Julian at this beautiful camp. It's Camp Stevens that we go to. And they meet other women living with HIV. They spend 3 days in nature doing hiking and swimming and great programming about what it means to be on this journey of thriving with HIV. And so $500 would help us provide a scholarship for a woman to attend that event.
I volunteered at that retreat for several years. Thank you to Kimberly and Jay and Sandy. That retreat is really transformational. I have seen women completely turn around their lives in that weekend, and it's a wonderful thing to sponsor. What about a $250 donation?
So a $250 donation, Jessica knows all about this. We provide these monthly family care kits, and it kind of helps to continue to provide support for our families, especially during the COVID time when we can't see them during big family events that we normally have seasonally. But these care kits, you know, they contain some crafts and art projects, and Jessica just did a great one with a book by Kamala Harris on leadership. She did a reading time online. So these family kits are purchased with a generous donation of $250, and we hope that you guys can contribute. Thank you to Sean. Robert, I see you. Thanks for your donation. And Bernita also donated a generous donation, and Jessica as well. So thank you all.
What about a $100 donation?
So $100 helps us to provide emergency food and hygiene products to our clients. You know, during COVID, this has been one of the biggest requests that we've had is, do you have food that we can access? Do you have diapers or baby formula or shampoo and soap and toothbrushes? These are things that, you know, if I lost a job, if one of our clients lost a job, they need to still have those things in their lives. And luckily, we are able to provide those things in a no contact, safe, COVID safe environment. They can come pick up food and hygiene kits, or we can make a no contact delivery to them. So $100 would go a long way in providing those emergency food and hygiene kits to our clients. Thanks to my staff, they're so amazing. I see Ingrid and Kenyatta and Leslie and Sean Kessler also donated. Thank you guys. I know you're all doing the watch party, so hope you're having fun.
Thank you so much. And we still have another category, the $50 one. What would a $50 donation, what kind of direct services would that help support?
Yeah, you know, I see Ingrid at the top of the donor list, and Ingrid's our clinical supervisor. She's one of 2 bilingual mental health therapists that we have, and $50 would go a long way to providing about an hour of counseling, either teletherapy through Zoom or through the phone, or you know, we can meet in person if we do it safely. We're really hoping to open those doors back up so that we can start having in-person support groups again. But $50 would help provide that mental health therapy for our clients.
Thank you all so much. We're still seeing numbers coming in, and this has been really amazing. And we're so grateful to all the ways all the people tonight are helping us reach our goals. And while we're still hoping for donations to be coming in, I'd like to also call out Renee to our stage. Renee Sievert.
Hi, Renee.
Hi, Renee. I think we've got a little something maybe that we want to share with you.
I can't hear you. Hi, Renee. How are you doing? So I know that you're about to introduce your video about how you met Christie and the impact that Christie's Place has had on your life. But before we show that video to you, Kathy and I wanted to present you with something special. We want to honor you today for your legacy of service, and we decided to give you a legacy award on behalf of Christie's Place and his board of directors. Avenir, I don't know if you have the slide up. We're ordering the award for you so it can get customized. But, you know, really your loyal dedication and unwavering commitment has been instrumental in helping Christie's Place and our clients for the past 25 years. And just know that we love you and we couldn't be here without you. And I think it's a really great time to show the video that Renee has, and then we'll bring you back up after the video shows, okay? Yay!
Oh my God. Hi there. Thank you for your support of Christie's Place. I'm Renee Robinson Sievert, and I might just be the oldest and longest serving board member at Christie's Place. And I wanted to say a few words about the history and the people of Christie's Place, and to thank a few people. First and foremost, there's Christie. I'm so grateful to have known her. I met Christie in 1990 or 91, and there was research happening and a lot of support services starting up for gay men, but not too many people were talking about women and children with HIV in those days. There was a small group of us that decided there ought to be a conference about HIV in women. And even though we had no experience doing that, we decided to get that going. And Christie was willing to speak about her experiences. not only at that first conference, but also to her providers and also to the media, which was kind of a risky thing back then. A lot of stigma around HIV and AIDS. I remember Christie as a soft-spoken, very strong woman. She was very thoughtful when she spoke, and she moved with such grace. She was actually quite regal, and she was a fierce advocate for women, children, and families. Her wish was to have a safe place for women, children, and families to get support. In San Diego back then, our first support groups for women were in the basement at the Owen Clinic, and later we moved them to Being Alive and to the AIDS Foundation, and then to a little house on 5th and Thorn where Irene Milton began to build the foundation for what was to become Christie's Place. And some of the very first women in our groups in those early days, I think, deserve a debt of our gratitude. I know for me, they taught me the most about life and living. And there were so many of them who faced their fears about thinking they would never get married or never be able to see their children grow up and have children and be married, because most people with AIDS were dying back then. And so to those women who are no longer here with us, I just want to acknowledge them and honor them. And just a few names come to mind. Besides Christie, there was Ruthie and Rita and Joyce and Doris and Julie and Lisa. And the list is long, but I like to be able to say their name out loud. And also some of those very first clients of Christie's Place are out there living their lives right now because of the advancement in HIV and AIDS care with treatments and support services. So Cindy, Wanda, Tammy, Terry, Wendy, Cheryl, Carol, Doreen, Tamara, Penny. I'm thinking of all of you right now out there living your lives. And then all of the current clients at Christie's Place who are receiving services and getting referrals, and they are the beneficiaries of the donations and the tickets that you've bought to be here with us. And it helps us keep our doors open and provide the things that they need. I'd also like to mention, just thank the board members throughout the years who have served on the board. Karen Long is another long-serving board member for over 20 years. And we've had many friends and colleagues, most of us on the board, invite people we know because that's who we know. So I think all of us on the board want to extend our gratitude to people who have served on the board. And to our board presidents. I've been board president a couple different times, and it's not an easy job. In the good times when there's good funding and, great management and, not a lot of things going on in our environment like they are right now, it's a pleasure to be serving on the board. And then there are times when it's really hard. Decisions have to be made, and a lot of times it feels a little more burdensome. But I think I would speak for all of our board members that it is a real honor to serve on the board of a place like Christie's Place that does such good work. The staff really are dedicated, and they put their heart and soul into their work, providing services for our women, children, and families. So to our board presidents throughout the years, Dr. Lois Gale was our first board president. I think I was the second, and then Kelly Doblato and Dr. Davy Smith, Michelle Laird, and our current president, Kathy Grove, doing such an amazing job. And finally, a thank you to each of you who have supported Christie's Place through all these years, and maybe some of you for the very first time. We really couldn't do it without you. Your tickets and your generous donations help us with unrestricted funds so that we can provide what women and children and families need. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here for us and for Christie's Place.
Oh, Renee, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for all of your service, for everything you've done for this organization.
Where else? It's just been wonderful. So thank you all. Thank you for the award. I'm so surprised. And it's been an honor. What a journey we've been on.
Yes, yes, for sure. I remember, you know, just learning more about Terry and the Tuesday night group and some of the support groups that you helped to facilitate, along with Terry and with Sharon Worth and Andy and Sue and Susan and Jim. You know, these were folks who were there from the beginning with Christie and with Irene, and just really appreciate you for all of the wisdom that you've imparted to all of us on the board, me as a staff member, you know, the many nights I've called you with questions. I really appreciate you, Renee. You know, I think there's no one else that's worthy of this. Your husband said you would cry, so we're trying to make those tears come out. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping the secret, Seymour.
Good job, Seymour. I'm glad I'm not the only one who isn't calling you all the time, Renee.
Oh, I think you're on mute, Renee.
You're mute.
There you go.
I've been crying all night. It's just been a beautiful celebration, and thanks to everybody who made those videos. And Wanda always makes me cry. So Wanda.
I know. Thank you for your video, Renee, and just thank you so much for being here and everything you've done for Christie's Place. Well, I think we're at the end of our evening. I wanted to say that while some of the videos were playing, I did get a few more donations. Marcia called in a donation for $500. Ken added 100. Dana made a donation, and Peggy made a donation for 25. So I would just like to remind everyone that it's not too late to donate. You can text LOVE25 to 44321. And I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We're so grateful for your presence. We're so grateful that you were here as we were able to reflect a little bit on what Christie's Place has meant and share some of our ideas for our vision going forward. And Ria, I'll turn it over to you for the last word.
Yeah, I am just so happy that people came to the event tonight. And, you know, in times of COVID, we're never really sure how these types of things will work, but we couldn't have done it without our planning committee. So just wanted to give a shout out to Avenir Thinking for really helping to coordinate this event. And then also to the Christie's Place staff, Betty Uribe, Kenyatta Parker, and Jessica Sanchez, who helped to plan this, along with our amazing board members, Ashley Middleton, Wanda London, and EJ Coe. Thank you all so much for helping me to plan this incredible event that really honors Christie's Place and the journey that we've been through in the past 25 years. And I just wanted to let everyone know that if you have family members or friends who weren't able to join us tonight, the event's recorded and it will have Spanish translation throughout the recorded version. It's going to be posted on the Christie's Place Facebook and our YouTube page, so you can access it at any time. In case you wanted to see these amazing videos again. So on behalf of the staff at Christie's Place and everyone who took part in this journey, I really just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy, for working with me. And
thank you.
I wish you all a great evening and a great weekend. And thank you again for your generosity and for loving Christie's Place as much as I know Kathy and I do.
Yeah.
That love and the donation and your generosity will go so long, especially during this year when we're trying to rebuild and open our doors back up to our clients. It's going to happen. It's going to be a great year. I feel it.
Yeah. Thank you all.
On the lookout for our book this summer. You'll get to see it on firsthand. So make sure to follow us on Facebook. Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
you.